Quick question. Name 5 Disney moms. Go ahead, I'll wait. Struggling? Don't worry, it's not your memory that's broken. It's the Disney universe. Because in the magical world of singing teapots, talking fish, and princes who fall in love with strangers in under 48 hours, there is one job more dangerous than being a stormtrooper, more cursed than touching a spinning wheel, and more statistically fatal than being the first character to speak in a horror movie. That job is being a mother. So buckle up, grab your tissues, and maybe call your mom. Because today we're breaking down why being born as a Disney mom is the single worst genetic lottery ticket you could ever pull. And I promise by the end of this video, you will never look at a Disney movie the same way again. Let's start with a quick roll call of Disney moms, shall we? Bambi's mom, Shot, Nemo's mom, Eaten, along with every single one of her unborn children in the first 3 minutes. Cinderella's mom, dead before the movie even starts. Snow White's mom, dead. Ariel's mom, crushed by a pirate ship. Yeah, look that one up. It's a whole tragic backstory most people don't even know about. Belle's mom, dead from the plague. Quasimodo's mom, killed on the steps of Notre Dame. Tarzan's mom, killed by a leopard. Elsa and Anna's mom, drowned at sea. Andy's mom from Toy Story? Okay, she's alive, but you never see her face. Which honestly might be worse. Are you noticing a pattern yet? Because Disney sure is. In fact, a study by The Atlantic found that out of all the major Disney animated films, the overwhelming majority feature a dead, missing, or completely absent mother. The numbers are so consistent, it's basically a job hazard. If you get a contract that says, Mom, Disney Studios, your agent should be legally required to read you your last rites at the audition. So why does this happen? Why does Walt Disney, and the entire studio after him, have what can only be described as a deeply concerning vendetta against fictional mothers? Well, the answer is darker than you'd think. There's a famous story, and it's been told by Disney executives themselves, that Walt Disney had a very personal reason for this pattern. In the 1930s, after Snow White became a massive hit, Walt used some of the money to buy his parents a beautiful new house. A gift. Thank you. The American dream wrapped in a bow, but shortly after they moved in, the furnace in the house malfunctioned. Walt's mother, Flora, died from carbon monoxide poisoning. In the house that Walt had bought her, Walt was reportedly devastated. He never spoke about it publicly, and some film historians believe that the trauma of that loss, the guilt, the grief, the inability to process it, bled into the DNA of every Disney film that followed. Now, is this the only reason Disney moms keep dying? No, but it's a haunting coincidence that the man who built the happiest place on earth couldn't bring himself to let mothers live happily in his stories. But here's where it gets even more disturbing. Because the real reason Disney keeps killing moms is actually a writing trick. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Don Hahn, the legendary Disney producer behind The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast, was once asked directly, "Why do you guys keep killing the moms?" And his answer was chillingly practical. He basically said, Disney movies are short, usually around 80 to 90 minutes, and in that time, the hero has to grow up. They have to leave home, face danger, make mistakes, and become an adult. And nothing slows that journey down faster than a loving, protective mother who would absolutely not let their child run off to fight a sea witch, climb a mountain, or befriend 7 strange men in the woods. So Disney does what every screenwriter does when a character is inconvenient. They kill her. The mom is what's called a narrative obstacle. She's too safe, too caring, too sensible. So she's removed, usually in the first 5 minutes, so the protagonist can finally do something interesting with their life. Which means being a Disney mom isn't just dangerous, it's structurally necessary that you die. Your entire existence in the script is a countdown timer. You're not a character, You're a plot device with a pulse, and the plot needs you to lose that pulse pretty quickly. Let's break down the different ways Disney has come up with to eliminate moms over the years. Because honestly, the creativity is impressive. Category 1. The backstory death. This is the most common. The mom is already dead when the movie starts. Cinderella, Belle, Jasmine, Pocahontas, Mulan's mom is alive but barely featured. Disney often doesn't even bother showing us the death. They just hand us a daughter and a sad dad and expect us to fill in the blanks. Category 2. The on-screen tragedy. This is the trauma special. Bambi's mom gets shot while her son watches. Nemo's mom gets eaten in front of her husband. Tarzan's parents are murdered by a leopard in the opening sequence. These are the deaths that ruin childhoods. These are the deaths your therapist eventually gets to know about. Category 3. The tragic backstory you find out later. Ariel's mom was killed by pirates. Elsa and Anna's parents drowned. These deaths happen off-screen, but cast a long shadow over the entire film. Category 4. The replacement villain. This is the sneakiest one. When the real mom dies, she's almost always replaced by an evil stepmother. Cinderella, Snow White, Tangled. These stories don't just remove the mother, they replace her with a hostile imposter. The message? Biological moms are loving but doomed. Stepmoms are alive but terrifying. There is no winning. Category 5. The mysteriously missing. Aladdin, Beast, Quasimodo's adoptive father, Frollo. Wait, where are all these moms? Just gone. No explanation. They simply do not exist. Disney didn't even give them the dignity of a death scene. Here's the part that really gets me. Disney built an entire empire on stories about family, about love, about home. Their entire brand is wholesome, warm, comforting. And yet, the one family member who represents all of those things most directly, the mother, is the one they cannot allow to exist. Think about that. The studio that taught generations of kids about love and connection has spent nearly a century telling them, over and over again, that mothers don't survive, that they get eaten, drowned, shot, plagued, or simply erased. That love itself is something you inherit from a ghost. And maybe that's why these movies hit so hard. Maybe that's why we cry every single time. Because deep down, we know that the absence of the mother is the engine of the story. The hero only gets to be a hero because the person who would have protected them is gone. That's not magic. That's tragedy with a soundtrack. Now, to be fair, Disney has been trying to do better recently. Sort of. In Moana, the mom is alive. She's also barely in the movie, but hey, alive. In Encanto, the entire story is about a family, and multiple mother figures get screen time and arcs. In Turning Red, the mom is not just alive, but central to the entire plot. In Brave, the mother literally becomes the story. So progress is happening, slowly, painfully, with the studio kicking and screaming. But for every Moana, there's still a Frozen, where the parents get sunk into the ocean before the second song even starts. The curse is broken occasionally, but it is not lifted. So if you ever find yourself reincarnated into a Disney movie, first of all, congratulations on your singing voice. You're going to need it. But before you accept the role, check the script. If you're a young, brave protagonist with a dream and a quirky animal sidekick, you're set. Enjoy your adventure. If you're a charming prince with a strong jawline, you'll be fine. A little bland, but fine. But if the script says mom, run. Run to the nearest exit, burn the contract, demand a rewrite. Because in the Disney universe, mom isn't a character, it's a sentence. And it's almost always a death sentence. So tonight, when you go to bed, do me a favor, call your mother, hug your mother, thank your mother. Because in real life, mothers get to stay. They get to grow old. They get to see the ending. In Disney's world, they almost never do. And that, my friends, is why it absolutely devastatingly sucks to be born as a Disney mom.